I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Hey everybody, Oops the podcast. You know us, hopefully you still love us. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I am Giulio. I am joined, as always, by Francis Ellis himself.
Buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, solid. Yeah, happy, very good.
I stole that little intro template from you.
I think I stole part of it from my old radio co-host, Willie Colon.
Okay, well, it's good that the theft is across different platforms.
What's happening?
Not much, man. We've been getting a bunch of good emails from people about, just their thoughts about this shit. And there's some real interesting stuff. This one I liked a lot. It said, "Hey, Francis and G, huge fan of the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Also, Francis, I can't believe you were in Quakertown, PA. That's about 10 minutes from my hometown and a very interesting place, LOL. I don't know what the fuck the LOL means there.
Is this a guy or a girl?
This is a girl.
Yeah, I wonder why she didn't say hi. I mean, it's like...
She did. I skipped over it.
No, but I'm saying if she knew that I was in Quakertown, PA, and she just stayed where she, I don't know. It is
No,
what
I know.
It is.
She should have hunted you down if she really cared.
It just pisses me off. Clearly, she's not a big a fan as she says she is.
All right. Well, this next part I found very interesting. And I think this is very different for New Yorkers than it is for her. But here's what she said. She goes, I was responding to your question on the podcast last week about what people miss the most that they didn't think they would. And she goes, mine would probably be the sort of acknowledgement from a person walking by you on the sidewalk. Before the coronavirus, it was like a kind smile or a nod or just an disinterested gaze forward. Now, every time I pass someone on my daily runs, it feels like everyone gives you looks that are like daggers. It's a bit scary.
Dude, I mentioned this in an Instagram story where I went for a run and nobody was giving me the head bob.
Oh.
Nobody was giving me the runner's head bob. Everyone was just sort of zooming past with no regard for propriety or courtesy or the fact that they're not the only person in this world. And she makes a very interesting point, and you said it too, which is that in New York, you'll be acknowledged one way or another. It might be negative or it might be positive when you pass somebody on the street, but there's going to be an acknowledgement of the fact that you're walking by another person. And now it's just total, like, it's as if everybody's walking with a pit bull and we're all going wide around each other and trying to not, it's not
Totally.
good.
Well, I also would argue this though. If New York, from my experience in America, is the place where you are the least likely to be acknowledged to begin with. Running's different. Like, I know that running is like jarring. So like people kind of notice you. So like, I'm not used to getting friendly nods from people, especially if you're walking by like crowds or like you kind of get used to it, to living in close proximity with people, but being by yourself.
Yeah. When you just said that, it reminded me that the point I originally made was wrong. And I want to take it back. I was trying to make her point make sense, like a teacher of third graders, when a kid says like, well, I think it was this. And then you're like, well, I can see how I could see how it could be that way, even though it's a wrong answer. You're right. People in New York do not acknowledge each other. I don't know why I just did that.
Well, no, I get what you mean though. It depends in what situation, but in general, there's just so many of us. You like don't have time,
Yeah.
Like,
There's a coldness and an indifference in New York.
Yeah.
And maybe it comes from the fact that so many people live there. Dude, speaking of New York, have you been following, and I don't mean to get us off the emails, but have you been following the Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo sibling rivalry bromance that's unfolding on like
it's incredible
local access television every single day?
And there's just curveball. Every second of the way, there's a different curveball, like the nipple piercing, this thing.
I wrote about that, yeah.
What did you have to say about it?
Well, I just said it was clearly a barbell. Like he had a barbell piercing through his nipple. And, there's two reasons to do that. One thing I've heard is that a nipple piercing actually helps a lot with breastfeeding. It somehow enables the milk to spout more freely. And I can see that. You're adding two more holes to the nipple. So, where once an infant might have had to suckle from a very difficult suction pull and spring bottle, now you've got a gushing Nalgene. Uh, but having said that, it is kind of odd if he's actually got nipple piercings and he's wearing shirts where he knows his nipples are going to show up. I mean, that's pretty. Like, what do you make? Would you ever get your nipples pierced?
I would not. One of my friends was like, dude, that's just older guy nipples. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You start growing multiple nipples? It's like those older guy nipples, man. I was like, what? Is that a thing?
I could see you piercing your nipples.
I feel like people think that that's something I could and would do. I do stuff like unexpected stuff sometimes, but I don't think nipple piercing. It's just too like, I don't know what it is, but it's not, I don't feel like it represents me.
It's you're big on the body manipulation. I could see you getting those earrings where you put like a cork in it and then a coin and then like
Gauges?
a pizza pie plate and then like when you don't have it in, it looks like your ear is some kind of floppy portal to another dimension.
It looks like it's for batting practice.
Yeah, or the mouth of that painting, The Scream.
That's funny. You're right. It's the exact
Edvard Munch, I think was his name. Yeah.
Good for us, dude, for knowing that.
Good for us for knowing that. A lot of people think it's Van Gogh. It's not Van Gogh. Yeah.
So, dude, that's funny though that you say that. I feel like nipple piercings are too like pagan for me. It feels like some kind of fringe of society move for a guy.
Yeah, unless you're Tommy Lee or some metal rocker bass player, what on earth would possess a guy to get his nipples pierced?
Literally. Alex Pavone has his nipples pierced.
Why?
I don't know, but we should maybe ask him about that because what the fuck? Like that, I think the Canadian thing is the wild card there.
Okay.
Because that doesn't make sense to me. This is one of our friends who's a comedian, a very funny guy. But I never really understood it.
No, it's it's really not. I always think of like juggalos. I think of like overweight female juggalos sitting in a folding chair, smoking cigs, and then flashing their like pancake boobies that are pierced with barbells. That's what you know what I mean?
And they're like, why would you do that? And he's like, all the better to milk me with.
Yeah. Those women are getting milked.
Touche.
Yeah.
Well, dude, the friendliness conversation brings me to the second point that was in this email, which is interesting. But before I get there, it's amazing have you ever gone to like Subway down south?
The sandwich shop?
The sandwich shop or something's comparable.
I stopped eating there once there was a threat of mad cow disease. But
all right, fair enough. Yeah. Maybe regardless, anytime I'm in a situation like that where they're assembling your food for you in some close proximity, it's amazing to me how much they try to interact with you and exchange pleasantries and then when if you don't participate, they think you're just a complete asshole.
Is that only in the South or is that everywhere?
I think here, dude, imagine going to Kava in New York City and having them ask you about your day.
That's interesting. Occasionally it happens and it makes you feel really good.
That's nice that that's how you feel about it. I guess same. You're like, okay, this is weird.
I'm not one of those New Yorkers who expects and demands total standoffishness. You know what I mean? Agreed.
And even the Uber driver, sometimes that can be okay if you're talking to the Uber driver, but the Uber driver should know when you're not in the mood to talk.
Yeah, that can be pretty abrasive, especially if you're going to JFK or something.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, it's bad. Let me ask you this: how is your have you been spending way less money during this?
Dude, I am so excited. I check in on my credit card statement every day because
So do I.
it makes me happy.
So I do too.
It's
That's
my
so funny.
only positive moment like from all this is that I check in and I'm like, spent $6 yesterday. Better reel it in, you know?
Dude, I pay my credit card bill every day because is that crazy? I pay it every day
Why? Why would you do that?
because I'm afraid that if I don't, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be like, oh, look at you, buddy. You've been having fun. Look at that.
Hold on. That means that you're spending credit card money you're buying something with your credit card every day.
Like usually, yes. Usually every single day.
What kind of stuff are you buying?
Well, right now I'm not buying shit. I mean, I'm going to the grocery store and buying food like every once in a while, but that's it. And I'm used to buying stuff every single day on my credit card. And I only use my credit card. And then the next day I just pay it off. I need to do that every day so that the balance, because when I was in my early 20s, I racked up a shit ton of credit card debt and I'll never do that again. So now that I have it under control and all my balances are zero, I am obsessive compulsive about keeping it that way.
Okay, but as long as you pay your credit, and you probably know this, as long as you pay your credit card statement by your billing date, you're not going to accrue credit card debt.
Totally. But I'm afraid that within that 30-day span, I will somehow spend more money than I thought I was spending and let it get out of control, because that's what happened to me originally when I was like 23 or 24.
So are you telling me that before all this began, have you been paying your credit card balance every day for a while?
Yes.
How long?
Probably not 2, 3, 4 years.
Dude, what the fuck? You're telling me that every single day for 4 years, you log into your Chase account and you're like, oh, $16. Oh, I got to pay that.
Yes. Yesterday I paid $4.09 on one of them.
Dude, this is crazy to me. I've never heard of anybody in my life doing that. I've never heard of this in my life.
Dude, sorry, go ahead.
The amount of clicking and confirming that you must be doing. I don't know. I guess it's nice to like wake up with a zero balance every day, but
it's maybe unnecessary. I do it I just do it on the app on the phone. But dude, I'm so deathly afraid of the moment in my life coming where it's time to take the next step and I'm going to get married and start a family. And I'm not going to have a strong enough foundation to be able to do it because of being irresponsible. I'm so afraid of that.
That's, I think there's probably, some good parts of that you are trying to be, you are spending within your limits on a manic level. But, the flip side is like, you don't know how much money you're spending each month, or does it still keep track? Like, can you keep track of a monthly statement?
So it's more of the kind of thing where like looking at it on a macro level doesn't help me, because like I am just naturally very impulsive and things can get out of control for me easily. Like I'm not naturally that disciplined of a person, and I've had to kind of like trick myself over the years to become better about it. And I feel like I've improved a lot. Okay.
So let me ask you this. Does this technique lead to you being less inclined? Like, so 10 days in a row, your balance you've paid is $22. You bought lunch and you bought a bottle of water or something. And then all of a sudden, like, does this mean that you're less inclined to buy a $400 jacket because you wouldn't want that number to spike so much?
So I'm not likely to buy a $400 jacket anyway. Like
unless it's at a Travis Scott concert. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
I don't buy a lot of clothes. I've gotten really lucky in my life that I've just like gotten a lot of clothes for free for a variety of different reasons. Not even sent to me. Like friends of mine who have nice shit, just giving their shit away and giving it to me kind of thing.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yes, it's very nice. However, all right. But what you're saying, this is why. At the end of the month, if my balance is $2,500, I am so much more likely to be like, I'll just pay half of that at the end of the month than if I just pay it every day. Even though that's stupid, even though I'll pay interest, even though, you know what I mean? Somehow I will end up with a credit card balance.
Okay, but what about like flights and vacation bookings, big things? Like, what are you always able to? Let's say that you booked a long weekend for you and your girlfriend to go to Jamaica, right? Which is where we were going to go, and it's like, I don't know, $2,800. Are you always able to that day just have the money to pay that?
Like, if we're talking the past year, yes. Like, and I just did that. I booked my girlfriend and I are going to go on a vacation, assuming that the world is functioning properly. And we're going to go to Greece and we're going to do a couple things. And
Wow.
I booked it all and paid for it all.
Wow.
But we split
Unreal.
it. We split it. And we broke it up over, since it's so far in advance, 1 week we'd buy one hotel, the next week, the next hotel,
Yeah.
the next week, the flight, tracking the flights to get a good deal, like that kind of shit.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Is
I
it?
mean, I don't know. Yeah. I part of me thinks you're just so on top of and so in touch with your spending. I do wonder if there is a part of you that would, for me, I think I would become obsessed with it.
Right.
It would become like the numbers would never be out of my brain, and it would consume me and prevent me from spending at all, which,
Right.
Maybe that's good for some people, but
So, well, dude, I really had a lot of credit card debt at one point, like a lot,
give me a ballpark, like over $10,000,
way more.
over 20.
Yes.
Wow. And you've paid it all off?
Yes. All gone. Zero.
How long did it take you to pay all that off?
Years, bro. And this is what it was. I got a job in the city. I worked at a real estate company, and I had a pretty modest salary, and I had all these friends whose parents were like helping them out a ton. And my parents, of course, helped me when they could and stuff, but it wasn't the type of thing where they're like paying my rent, giving me money to spend, all that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I come from like a normal place where they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt so left out that I was like, you know what? I'm not going to, in my first year living in the city after college, be left out of this stuff. I'm going to have fun and I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Dude, that's that's much more common than I've heard that story from a lot of people where they would go to nightclubs and stuff on their first year out of college. And it's like the only way they could get in was by buying a bottle and splitting it. And you get that $500, $600 tab at the end of the night. And nobody has the money for that at that age. So
totally. And dude,
that's
it's one of those
crazy.
things also where just putting a little more on top of it starts meaning nothing. And especially where I already had a significant amount of student debt, I was like, what's an extra? And I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand how much more severe the interest was and how like it's designed in a way that's very unfortunate that people who do that fuck themselves over. Very
they're
hard.
penalizing you. Exactly. Credit cards companies do not want you paying off your balance.
Right.
They don't like people like you and me, you now at least,
The new me.
don't carry. I've never in my life, and I mean maybe this sounds douchey, but never once in my life have I carried credit card debt because it was instilled in me at a very early age of like, yo, if you don't pay your monthly balance, you're going to have to pay interest on that. And that's, why get charged for spending money? So
Yeah.
I always found a way to like move money around from my different accounts or whatever to make sure I could pay my balance.
Totally.
Do you get, are you big on credit card points? Like, are you pretty?
Yeah. I mean, I have Sky Miles cards.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty, I know that I should just get one of the cards that lets you do points in general. I haven't like gotten to that like junction yet. I need to like figure that out. But I mean, I have a Visa. I use a Visa and an Amex, and they have for different airlines.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm assuming
It's crazy. Well, I think it's a really interesting lesson in all of this, and to the original point, which is how blissful it is to have such low daily credit card expenditures. Like I think I told you when we had Raina on yesterday, but we went to Maine Brewing Company or Maine Beer Company and got these pizzas, and it was like $72. I was like, damn, like, yo, that's crazy. I don't know. And that used to be like a no-brainer, last second decision twice a week in New York.
Totally.
Living in New York, you light money on fire.
It's crazy, man.
If you leave your apartment, you're gonna spend $100 in a day.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really
And
crazy.
yeah, so I'm hoping that there will be an austerity lesson that I will take with me from all this, which is that the number that I need to spend to actually live and survive is so much lower than I thought it was.
Right. It's
Now,
crazy, right?
It will go up when life returns to normal, because right now my gym membership is canceled. I canceled, I think, the cable package at my apartment, and I like unplugged all my appliances before I left so that my electric bills would go to zero. I mean, I really,
Good.
unplugged. And so naturally there's going to be a lot more, but it's like, the number of Ubers add up so fast.
It's crazy, man.
And
They're so expensive in New York too.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
$30 here, $40 here. You when you live in New York, you don't think twice about spending $40 on something.
Dude, Uber pool to the airport is $65.
Dude, I only ever take public transportation to the airport.
I do. I try to also, but sometimes that 6 a.m. flight, I'm running behind and I fucking just hop in one. But dude, same. I always take public transportation. I don't care.
I'll fly. I try to fly exclusively out of Newark, because for me, Penn Station is so close that I can just get out there so fast. And it just takes the stress out too. You're going to get there in the amount of time that you've allotted. And I don't get car sick.
Right. Dude, it's great. You're right. The train, the train from Penn Station to Newark is very, very easy.
It's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So, okay. Well, that's really interesting about the credit cards. Yeah. I think I will spend this month under $1,000.
Wow. Including like, not including like rent and stuff, obviously, right? Obviously.
Correct. But I checked yesterday and I think I've spent $460 in my statement. Billing cycle ends on April 18th. So I'm about halfway there.
Interesting.
So I haven't spent less than $1,000 on this credit card ever.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever spent less than $2,000. And I don't mean to sound like a dick, but like that, this number that I will have spent, but it needs to be that way. It needs to be that way. What are you going to do? Well, you don't have rent. Like my rent, my apartment is just sitting vacant, unplugged, cold. All the plants are dying. The food in my refrigerator is rotting. I tried to clean it out. Most of the stuff that's perishable is gone, but am I allowed to reach out to my landlord and be like, yo, what's the deal?
I don't know, man. I mean, you could Airbnb it.
Dude, you know what I thought about? This is something I thought about. My apartment in New York would be a lot nicer for someone who is stuck in New York than their apartment.
Definitely.
Like, could I get someone to move over to my apartment? It's got a backyard. It's got, comfortable furniture, beautiful kitchen. I wonder if someone would be willing, because they're just like fed up of being stuck in their shitty apartment. I would charge, I don't know, $100 a day, 150, just get something,
Right. I mean, you could get much more than that, I imagine. I mean, so you could sublet it, but here's the problem. If all of a sudden things improve, which is unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately is possible, you then would have nowhere to go.
Dude, we're looking at 3 months.
Right. No, I know. And
I
think that's realistic.
I don't think it's like July at the earliest right now is what I'm understanding.
It's fucking crazy.
Are you ready for that? Are you going to be, you're going to be out there in the Hamps? Just, by the way, It's about to get nice for you.
I know. It's about to
That's
get nice out.
pretty cool. I think,
know.
unfortunately, the beaches are still going to be closed, but
So there are some like private ones though.
wow. Do you have access
Whatever.
to those?
Mhm.
Damn, bro.
I know. Well, dude, listen, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. Like, I have been exercising a lot, which has been great. I've been very regimented and it's been easy. I've almost like dreamed of a scenario where I could put my life on pause and try to commit myself to getting in shape. So I know you said at the beginning of this, if I come back shred, bro, from the quarantine, you'll be impressed. I will see. I'm on pace to have a shot.
What are you eating? What's your food schedule like?
So
Chris just said he's going to be shred bro too. Chris, pop in here for a second. We want to ask you about what your weight loss situation is like. Chris,
what's up?
Weigh in, buddy, because you've been on the weight loss train for a while. How's your diet? What's your weight situation like?
Good. I'm down like 11 pounds right now.
11 pounds, buddy.
Just trucking
Nice.
along.
Yeah.
I eat like I'm being an insano. I do one meal a day. Well, I eat for like 2 hours in a day, eat all my calories in there. Because I need to like make food a game for myself. If I like convert it into like I know I can only eat in this time period, it's much easier for me because all I do is snack all day. That's why it was so hard. Because it eliminates that for me.
Chris, looking at you now, I can already tell that if you were to lose, first of all, you do look a lot better. But if you were to lose a lot of weight, you'd be like a 9, dude.
Dude, I know. That's
you.
what I know.
You are set to be really hot. You have the face and the eyes and like the facial hair for it. Yeah, you just need to get there.
Yeah, no, me and Giulio will pop out like wax figures and be like,
yeah, sweet. And then I'll put on a whole bunch of weight, and you guys will be like, we don't know this guy. Yeah.
It's Fat Francis coming to life.
Yeah,
Fat Francis, dude. I had a guy do my like macros for me. Like I happened to do like a body analysis before I came out here, like literally 2 days before this all started.
Huh.
And he kind of is micromanaging my meals and my workouts.
Where did you find this guy?
Dude, you know him, Nick Simmons. He's a personal trainer. He's a comedian.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if I know him, but
he's a nice guy. He's very funny too, actually. He's a funny kid. But anyway, so he's, we'll see if it works. You know what I mean? So far, it seems to be going reasonably well. I don't know, man. We'll see.
What are your workouts? What are you doing?
Just a variety of every week. He's giving me different stuff. I'm kind of doing what you do, like isolating muscle groups and doing like 5 days on and then 2 days rest.
I forgot that you have a total gym where you are. It's unbelievable.
It's not a total gym, but it's getting closer to being one. Like we have all free weight situation and cardio machines, whatever. And we just bought a bench.
Nice.
So we'll see. And then we bought a pull-up machine, like a freestanding pull-up bar.
Dude, pull-up bars, if you can start banging out strict full extension pull-ups and really being disciplined about like pushing yourself, those are, I think, like one of the best exercises for looking absolute shred, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Trust me, dude.
What is your routine like?
Well, it's been varied. I got that kettlebell at 55 pounds, and I think it was too heavy, if I'm honest. I did a workout with it, and then the next day, and actually in the days since, my lower back has been fucking screaming. And it's finally getting a little bit better, but I think it was from doing the kettlebell swings because you're thrusting so hard. So my lower back was in shambles from that. And as such, my parents have a Peloton bike, and I've gotten into that, and I'm really enjoying that. Although some of the Peloton trainers bug the shit out of me. I think there's this one guy named Cody who's such a cornball, dude. I mean, he plays Linkin Park and then repeats lyrics as if they're messages for us.
That's terrible.
Like,
tried so hard.
Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. And then he's like, yeah, it does matter how hard you try. Think about that. This is what we're doing here. Like, and it's like, dude, it's Linkin Park. What are you talking about?
Someone told me that my voice sounds like Chester Bennington, R.I.P.
Is that the guy who killed himself?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. Yeah. I'm not like knocking the band. I just think like, it's one step above quoting
Totally.
Limp Bizkit during.
Dude, 100%. It's a very accessible and reading into the lyrics seems very overkill.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so my girlfriend sent me a gift
Oh, that's nice.
for no occasion. Fucking sweetheart.
That's great.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. What do we got? I love presents. Oh, yeah, dude. Hang on, bro. Wait.
If you guys can hear that sound, it's a massage gun. Oh, fuck. I suspect Francis right now is going to get one as well.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we have the same one.
Dude, they're pretty similar. Which one did you get?
These are the same one, bro.
You got the Hypervolt?
Maybe not. Mine is, I don't know. It looks very similar, though.
It looks identical.
Yeah.
Clearly, one of these companies completely ripped off the other company. Dude,
Oh,
I can't help but think whenever I use it of that website. I think it's called like it's a porn website, like Real Sex Machines or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. They like strap women down and then they have robots.
Whoa, dude. You could totally put a dildo in this thing.
Sure could. I haven't I? Hey,
That is crazy.
Have you used yours yet?
I've been using it on my body, not fucking on my asshole.
Not ramming. Let me tell you something, Giulio. Just take my word for it. You cannot put a cucumber on the end of this thing. I tried. And baked goods, things of that nature, and vegetables do not stay. Gets a little. But dude, it's awesome. I love it. I use it all the time.
It's really, really amazing.
The Theragun is the one that started the whole trend, I think. But those are like $500. This is like a knockoff. It's a step down.
Right.
But this one's really good, and it's
Really fucking good.
The one problem is I want to use it while my girlfriend and I are watching TV, but it's too noisy for her.
Right.
She doesn't like, because we're watching Breaking Bad, and I've already seen Breaking Bad. She's never seen it. So I tried putting it under a comforter and like to muffle the sound, and even then she was like, she couldn't hear what was happening. And
Subtitles?
I'm not going to make her read a show just because I want to massage the lactic acid out of my quads from cycling.
What level do you put it on? Like how intense, like how strong?
It depends on the part of my body
muscle,
that I'm doing. Like with my thighs and stuff, I can go all the way up.
Right.
But if I'm doing my
calves, you got to tone it down. Yeah.
Calves, you got to tone it down. Yeah. Well, dude, this was great, man. Great to catch up with you.
Sure.
I'll see you next week. Congrats on the credit card spending. We should have an end of the month competition to see who can spend less.
We should. I mean, you're with your girlfriend though. I feel like that's cheating on I have an advantage.
Yeah, but in theory, we're like splitting all of our groceries too. So I think it should kind of come out in the wash. But yeah, maybe.
Okay.
All right, man. We'll have a great weekend. Where are you at in Game of Thrones?
I finished it.
Oh my God.
I finished it.
All right. Now, what'd you think of the last season?
I didn't hate the ending.
Me neither.
I thought it was perfectly like just and nice at the end of the day. It's like Jon Snow was the guy who took care of the people as he always claimed to be, type of thing.
Yeah.
The last season was fine. I mean, what point did it stop being books? Because I remember you said that, and I didn't look into it.
I think season 6, the one which was the best season to me.
Yeah.
Where they had Battle of the Bastards, to me is the best episode of the whole series. And I think that was the first season where they diverged from the books, and everyone was. I was just blown away that the showrunners, DB Weiss and Benioff or whatever were able to carry it themselves.
Agreed. Yeah. Cause it really gets, and it makes sense. Like it steps it up as far as like action, like it
Yeah.
becomes much more intense and like very satisfying when they got rid of the Red Sparrow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there's so many great moments. I might have to go back and watch that too. She's never seen that one either. Holy shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a wild ride, and it was really fun to be able to commit so much time. I finished the entire series in 2 weeks, dude.
So what's next? What's next for you?
I have a very long list of movies that I just was. I get Netflix DVDs, so I have a long list of movies that I'm never going to be able to tackle. So I figure I start cracking those, getting into those. I don't know.
You're popping DVD discs into a DVD player?
No, but I just have the list still. So, and I'm like too lazy to screenshot it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's it.
All right. Well, good luck, man. Let's touch base next week. Thanks for following us at Oops the Podcast. Follow our Instagram account at Oops the Podcast and send us your quarantine stories and your credit card spending. Talk soon, everybody. Thanks so much.